Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Wright from Edge Home Finance. We appreciate you joining us. I have the pleasure of having Melanie Joas from Stage to Sell by Mel on board. Thank you. I appreciate you coming, my dear. You are a wonderful soul.
Oh, thanks, Mike. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. So I've known Melanie for a long time. As a matter of fact, we, oh brother, we knew one another back when she was a trainer, and quickly learned that I like, D-O-double-G, so was Snoop starts playing, and holy buckets, it all went crazy. Anyways, so we appreciate you being here. We'll get back focused. We're here to talk about staging. Obviously, for many of you, that's a critical piece, and I wanted to bring in a pro to help us out. How did you end up becoming a stager?
Well, thanks for asking. Ironically, before I became a real estate agent, I wanted to become a stager.
Yeah.
And David, my husband, who you know,
yes,
was like, Mel, I really think you should sell homes and not stage, because there's an investment to staging.
Right,
you have to purchase stuff. With real estate, you're running around with clients. He figured that I'd be good at that. Well, I then became a real estate agent. I had kind of helped with people in design in the past with home projects and stuff like that. But after becoming an agent, I decided to go all in and add staging to my business, where I started off just staging my own listings.
Right.
Then now I'm the team stager for the advisory group.
Yeah, because you're with EXP, correct?
I'm with EXP, yep. And the advisory group, we're based out of Hopkins.
Nice.
So I do all of the staging, occupied staging appointments, the appointments, kind of like a home readiness, if you will. And then I also help with vacant staging appointments for the team as well. But since then, I've expanded outside of our team.
Good.
So, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Well, we've got a number of realtors in this Minnesota Realtors group, and part of what we try to do is to bring on either a realtor of the week,
that's great,
which obviously you're going to be at that as well, but then also a partner of the week, right? And so it's all about how do we help these agents out here sell houses, right?
That's great.
And so tell me about what is your approach to staging? I mean, you walk into a house, whether it's furnished or vacant, what do you do?
Yeah, so I go into the home. Sometimes the buyer will meet me at the house, sometimes the listing agent as well. Totally depends on the circumstance. I'm open to either situation, whether someone's there or not. I go in, I assess the property just to see what it's like, take pictures of the property, measurements of the property, and I kind of go from there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It's an amazing art, right?
It is.
If especially, guys, guys would be fine with beer cans behind them and, couches with whatever hanging around. But so there's an art to it.
There is.
Do you determine based on the size of the rooms or what they have? Do you ever remove stuff, put in new stuff?
Definitely. So I have a couple of different options for people. One, I can work with what they already have.
Yep.
Two, I can do what's called an accessory stage, where I'm working some with what they have, but then I'm bringing in some updated trendy artwork, throws, pillows, things like that.
Yeah.
I'll create a checklist for them and give them an idea of what they should remove from the property to get the home ready for picture taking or staging. And then I also, as far as vacant staging, I'll have them get rid of everything, encourage them to do a nice deep clean, and then we come in and we decorate the entire place for them.
Is that when you come into a property that may be more challenging? Is there an art to how to handle the client? I mean, are you asking a listing agent who may have the rapport with them? Because it'd be a little dicey saying, okay, this stuff's gone. We're putting in new stuff, right?
Yep. Actually, so it's kind of funny because I think sometimes listing agents will be uncomfortable kind of giving the seller
The reality.
the news of, the reality of what needs to go. So I come in, gently, of course, and prepare the sellers for what needs to go.
Right.
And I, always bring it back to like what the market's like, who's buying right now. And we really want to speak to those buyers and create an emotional connection with the buyers. Because once you create that emotional connection, they're hooked. And they'll overlook things in the home. And not that we want to deceive anyone, but we want someone to fall in love with the house. And if you think of it, you walk through a new construction home and you're immediately like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And it's not just the new construction home, but it's the things in it that help you realize, like, I could make this home my own. So
well, and I think that you're 100% correct. 'Cause it's the open houses where they have spent plenty of hours on what appeals to the buyers. Is there any truth to the home itself for ladies and then the garage for guys, or do you just simply focus on the house itself?
It totally depends. If they have a really good garage, I might add something out there, but 9 times out of 10, it's mostly the home.
Yeah, you just leave the...
There's actually a statistic behind it. They say that it's the first 15 seconds that somebody walks into a home, they know if they want to continue to look at the home and even purchase the home.
Right.
15 seconds.
Yikes.
That's quick. So yes, I think that the garage is typically a huge perk for the gentleman and some females as well.
Yeah, right.
But mostly it's the home that they're looking at. And they will oftentimes say, oh, well, the furnace is older, big deal. It looks really nice. I can see myself here.
So does being a realtor help you with the trends? How do you learn about what is appealing to buyers?
Actually, I'm a part of a staging association called RISA.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of RISA?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so hello to all my RISA sisters out there and brothers, of course. We get together once a month and we talk about all the different trends. We attend continued education classes.
Good.
This summer I'm actually going to RISACon. So we talk, there will be award ceremonies. There will be just like a marketplace where we can go and shop together and see all of the new trends that are going on.
Oh,
it's kind
brilliant.
of a big deal. It's really important for a stager and designer to be a part of an association like that.
Yeah, so you're up for a nomination.
I am.
Fill me in. All you folks, please cast the vote. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's really fun. I just joined this association within the last year and was nominated as the most influential stager for 2023.
Wow.
So I haven't won yet, but it's exciting.
Yeah, but that's right though. At least you're in the mix, and I think what I've learned about you is whatever you do, you're doing it with enormous passion.
Yes.
And it's not like you dive half in. It's elbow deep, right?
Yep.
Give us some wins. Like what,
gosh.
I mean, I'm sure you've got plenty, but tell us about a couple properties that you've staged and how that helped the value.
Well, I'll tell you one of my most favorite wins. I staged a home in North Minneapolis, kind of in a rougher neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was on the higher price point for this particular neighborhood.
Right.
We had 3 times the amount of views on Zillow and 3 times the amount of liked properties on Zillow
right.
that our entire team has ever had.
Wow.
That home was listed during the time when the rates went way up. And we were able to sell that home for, I can't remember the exact amount if it was over list or not, but it was exactly what the sellers wanted. It was quick. It was staged really well. It turned out just awesome. So it was really great feedback to get that. Most of the homes I have sold, I will say 99.9% of the homes have sold within the first weekend and for way over list.
Yeah. Well, and I think that gets back to your, that speed of when somebody makes a decision, right, to be buying a place.
Definitely.
It's not location. That's obviously critical.
Definitely.
But that perception of when they walk in is where you shine, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Tell me about the, to be a stager, to me, you need to have like a warehouse, like a 15,000 foot warehouse. Like, what? You know, how do you do that? Is there a network of a bunch of you that have a area where you keep furniture? What do you do? Or is your home just mega to where Dave just lets you keep it all up, you know?
So it started in my garage.
Yeah.
Now it's moved to multiple storage units right in Excelsior, and we're currently shopping for a warehouse because it's in my garage, in my basement, and in multiple storage units, all the inventory. So
and that gets spendy. I mean, is it a pole barn but you have to have access to it.
Yep, and I prefer to stay somewhat close to where I work.
Right.
And to home, because what happens is I go out to the home, I create a plan and a design behind the scenes, but I have to go through and just make sure that I have everything that I need, so I visually want to see it all.
Yeah. So you guys are inventorying all this stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yikes, that's a big task, but I think it it gives you props for being as detailed as you are.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I create systems behind the scenes just to make it a little bit easier, you know, so I don't have to physically be there every
moving
second.
And everything else. And Dave does a lot of moving too. I'm
Sure
assuming.
does, yeah.
I know they got a beautiful truck and trailer, so I mean that happens as well. So give me an idea, and obviously you've got the Minneapolis example. When you walk into a property, is there a flow? I mean, how do you determine what would look good? You know, you've got unique properties, whether it's a dome home, whether it's some of these other places. How do you determine what is a flow?
Well, so some of it has to do with just most recent trends that are out there. Right? But then we also want to complement the home in the style that it currently is. So that's why it's important to have that consultation and going out to the home to see what it's like. What is the woodwork like?
Right.
You know, is it a white finish? Is it a dark stained finish? Do we want to highlight a certain specific architectural part of the home? Do we want to, highlight that front entry as like the huge wow factor? Like, what is it that we want to, really bring out in the stage? So a consultation is really important to determine that.
And that's where you're getting the photos, the measurements, and doing all that stuff. Do you prefer to have the buyers around or agents around when you do this? Or do you like to kind of say, let me do my magic first and then I'll present to you?
I'm open either way.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a people person that I love meeting with sellers and listing agents and building relationships. So, and knock on wood, I haven't had any bad circumstances where I've been like, this is uncomfortable. It's all been really great. And everybody's always happy when you stage. So that's a huge blessing.
So when you're putting all this together, are you almost presented it like I use the appraisal term, where you've got pictures, you're able to cut and paste. I know technology has gotten amazing with how you can implement pictures into a Photoshop or whatever the case may be. How do you do that?
So if it's more staging, what I do is I take pictures of the home with what's in the home already. And I don't necessarily provide pictures back telling them where to place things unless they specifically ask for that. When I'm at the home, if we're doing more of a home readiness appointment or a partial stage, I will show them. Sometimes I do, however, use a platform called Design Files where I can take a picture of the room, I can put it into this program, and then I can manipulate the photo, if you will, and tell them where to place stuff. But 9 times out of 10, if we're rearranging furniture, they're asking me to do that anyway, so then I'll just come in and do it.
Their furniture or yours?
Both.
Either really?
One.
That's an interesting deal. And then who's actually hiring you? Is it the clients themselves, or is it the agent that brings you on board to help ROI?
Yeah, so I've had both. I've had both clients reach out through social media.
Okay.
And then I've also had agents reach out, or I've reached out to other agents as well and said, hey, what do you think? You want to have a partnership here?
Yeah.
And as far as the consultation go, I would say most agents will pay for the consultation up front.
Right.
And then, but sometimes if, like, let's just say a seller's agent is giving somebody a pretty stellar deal, then they might have the seller pick up the consultation. But what I do is I then turn around and kind of compliment that in the end and say, hey, you paid so much for this consultation. I'm actually going to honor this amount off of the grand total for
beautiful.
you. Yeah, as a thank you.
And so your range of homes that you stage can be anything.
Yep.
200K up to
$1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
Yep, I have a listing coming up that I'm going to be staging at the end of the month, and it's 1.2.
I'll be darned.
And then I actually just partnered with Keyland Builders. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great.
Yep. And I'm going to be partnering with them and doing all of their in-house staging and helping with design.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
And then in that case, when you're working with a builder, are they, because of the number of homes they're selling, are they buying the furniture or buying the material?
Most buyers do.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, builders do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Particularly because it can help keep costs down for them.
Yeah, right,
So it's more of a design fee type of situation. Totally depends on the builder though. Some builders prefer to rent furniture, but honestly, it
gets
doesn't
spending.
really make most sense to do
Right,
that for a
right.
builder. It makes more sense to have a designer come in and help. So
Yeah.
that's essentially what I'm doing for them. Yeah.
And then you're turning around, those builders are simply just putting in furniture into the next place.
Sometimes, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
good. And so what do you love about the business? Give me some, I mean, Melanie is such a beautiful personality with people
You're
that
so
is
sweet.
so cool to watch, but it's infectious, to be honest with you. But what do you love?
Well, I would say I love the people, which I know is a little cliche,
Yeah,
but
yeah, right,
it's true.
right,
It's
right,
true, right?
right.
I really enjoy, as far as the real estate side, helping people get into a home, whether it's first-time home buyer, which like really holds just a special spot in my
Yes.
heart to help first-time home buyers. Also people that just have a different season of life, whether they're moving up or they're moving down, downsizing
Yeah.
type of situation. It's just working with the people.
No, I agree 100%. That's why I've done it as long as I have done it.
Yeah.
Is there a, just so we can air all this stuff, there is no conflict with you being an agent and a stager, right? They're completely separate professions.
Yep. Well, I would say, interestingly enough, real estate is a very competitive
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
industry,
yeah.
as
Yep.
we know. Well, so is staging.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, actually. And I think that one thing that I was really determined to change is that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I get it. Like, we're all in competition with each other, but I want to support other agents.
Yes.
And I want to support other people, whether they want to be in staging or they want to be agents. And so I've really been determined over the last couple of years to just love on people and
Yeah.
show people that we can all work together, whether we're staging in design or if we're in the real estate side of things. It's truly a goal of mine.
I love that mindset. You see these companies out there that are, how do we improve the industry as a whole, right?
That's
When it
how.
becomes cutthroat, nobody wins, right?
Exactly.
And there's a lot of agents that are over their cubes protecting their
Yeah.
secrets. It's all work together, right?
Right.
And so I love that mindset.
Yeah. It's a good
So
one.
give us some tips on how we can get a hold of you, right?
Well, you can reach out to me through social media platforms, my email, phone, which I'd be happy to pass all of that information
Yeah.
along to you so you have it all, which I think you do.
Yeah,
but-
and Jake's a great partner of mine and has been instrumental in helping me with all these videos. He will put your Facebook is under what?
So I have a couple of different platforms. I have You can look me up on Instagram under Melanie Joas.
Yep.
But under that, it says Stage to Sell. And then I also have my personal Facebook, Melanie Joas, but then I have a Stage to Sell page as well that I'm just growing. So
Now, is it staged to sell?
It is.
But there's a better rhyme to it. Staged to sell by Mel.
yeah,
right?
Stage to Sell by Mel is my email. It's actually hello@stagetosellbymel.com.
Yeah, I
Has
love
a little
that.
ring, right?
No, I mean, I just love the creativity with it. But what we'll turn around and do is that when we post this, we will have all her contact information, and please reach out to her. I mean, I think the key is you interviewing her will make you realize on what a talent she is, what a personality she is, but more importantly, what an expert she is when it comes to all this stuff.
Well, thanks, Mike.
What
Yeah.
does your house look like? Is it like staged to perfection at all times?
Well, you're actually gonna laugh. I
Sorry,
know.
David.
Or is
You
it the
know.
opposite? Is it kind of like work is work and at home is kind of just laid back and not as, I don't know.
Well, it's funny you ask. We actually purchased a home probably 2.5 years ago that we knew that we had to renovate. So currently, because we work a lot, our house is kind of in shambles. Like the primary bathroom is completely torn apart. The kitchen needs to be remodeled and the basement needs to be done. So as of right now, it's kind of a disaster, but you know, I'm very artsy, creative person, so we're constantly changing things, and I'm sure my husband is really sick of it.
In other words, David has to make the bed every morning.
Yeah.
There's no towels, no underwear sitting around. Let's just put it that way right now. Well, you
so
are
funny.
a sweetheart. We appreciate you coming on and sharing your talents.
Thanks,
and I'm excited to help you. And I
you.
love your partnership. You
Yeah.
are a wonderful person, and thank you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
You got it. Thank you.